Hey everyone, today I'm excited to show you a portfolio website I designed, clean, modern and made to leave a lasting expression. I'm 𝗣𝗥𝗔𝗖𝗘 𝗖𝗢𝗗𝗘, a front-end developer, creative designer and a content creator. You might know me from a tutorial I've been sharing over the past 3 to 4 years. I'm now close to hitting 100,000 subscribers, so if you have enjoyed the content so far, please make sure to subscribe and support me on this journey. So yeah, a portfolio website, which is a space where someone can highlight the project skills and achievements, and yeah, whether you are a developer, designer, freelancers, or a creative way to present your work in a professional or an organized way. Yeah, so yeah, instead of just talking about your experience or portfolio, it's a portfolio shows it visually. So yeah, this particular design was highly recommended by my audience for its layout, simplicity and functionality. And so yeah, I'm really excited to share it with you today. So let's give you a quick tour of portfolio. I'll break down the design choice, layouts and features I included to make it stand out, and let's go. So yeah, let me refresh. So here's my navigation bar, which are completely functional. Okay, so this is my home page, and when we click into the about page, it takes us to the about section. When we click onto the project, it takes us to the project section. Here are 3 cards: project 1, project 2 and my portfolio, and these are all buttons which you can click and all are functionable. Okay, and at last we have our contact page. Okay, so they can contact me if they want to hire me. Okay, and these are, and here we have a animated typewriter, and here is my name, and here is a background pictures. Okay, and this website or a portfolio is completely responsive, as you can see. Let me show you. Okay, so this is completely responsive. You can see here a navigation bar which is also completely functionable. You click into the about, it takes us to the about page. You click onto the project, it takes us to the projects, and if you click onto the contact, it will take you to the contact page. And this is completely responsible. Okay, so dimensions are over here. You can see, you can change the dimension and it is completely responsible. Okay, so as you can see over here, these are all responsive. Okay, so yeah, so without any further description, let's start how to develop this portfolio. And yeah, I've made this using a HTML CSS and Bootstrap framework and some jQueries. Okay, so it will be easy for you to learn. And if you do not have any time to learn and you need to submit your project as soon as possible, then the source code is also given in the description. Okay, and yeah, so for the practice, you can also download the zip code. Okay, so I'll that is also in the description. So okay, let's minimize this. Okay, refresh. So yeah, I have created a portfolio 2025 which is in the desktop. Okay, and also yeah, so I have made 2 files here, index.html and style.css. Okay, so now press shift and right click, then you can see open with the code, or if you do not see this option open with the code, you can just click over here, then cmd. Okay, that will open your command, and then type here code space and full stop. Okay, then press enter, so it will directly take you to the VS Code. Okay, so here's a index.html, which is HTML, and here are some link. The titles is portfolio 2025 resume, or you can say portfolio. Okay, and yeah, here's a Bootstrap CSS link. Okay, over here, and it is linked with the style.css, and also here are some Bootstrap GSS, jQueries, and Bootstrap CDNs and everything, and style.css is completely empty right now. And so you can also download this folder from the video description, and if you want to learn step by step how to make this portfolio. Okay, so how to make this portfolio. So altogether we have around 4 to 5 sections. Okay, so for the first sections is like the, let's say let's call it main, or let's say this as a first section. Okay, so which we have a header over here. Okay, div with the id of the main. Okay, then we'll have the header. Okay, so inside the header we'll be working on the nav with the class. Okay, So yeah, so before doing this, let me show you one thing. So if you do not have this open with a live server, so to run this HTML code we need to have a live server. Okay, so that will help us to work in a good environment. So if you do not have this open with the live server, which will open you to this page. Okay, so right now we are just working over here. If you can see this, let me add something over here. Hello. Yeah, you can see here hello. Yeah, so it is directly refreshing. Okay, so if you do not have this option, just go in here. You have here a extension. Okay, on the left side, if you don't see, here's extension. Just search for the live server. Okay, search for the live server, click on the first one, and you can just install it live server. Okay, and it will directly refresh by itself, and you can just find this, right click, and you can see here a open with the live server. Okay, so navbar with the navbar. So if you do not understand what I'm writing over here, so these are all the Bootstrap functions or features, I can say. Okay, so it will do so we'll add a button with the navbar toggler. Okay, and we'll have a type that would be button, and we'll have a data toggle. Okay, and that will be collapse, and also we have a data target that will be navbar nav. Okay, navbar nav. Okay, and also we'll have a areas control that will be the same navbar nav, and also we'll have a area expanded. Okay, that will be false, and we'll have a area level that will be toggle navigations, and inside we'll have a span. Okay, span with the class. Okay, and that would be navbar toggler icons here. Then we'll just come back. Okay, then we'll create one more div here with the class collapse navbar collapse with the ID we have here a navbar nav. Then inside this div we'll have a UL with the class that is navbar nav, and list with class is nav item active. We have anchor tag with a class. Here's sref would be blank, and we have a class of the nav link. Okay, so inside the nav link we'll write here a home, so it will end of the list over here. So let's see what we have done right till now. Okay, so these are, okay, as you can see, so let me zoom it for you. So if we click over here, so the home is coming and going inside. Yeah, so it collapsed when we click over here. So it is we are making first a responsive navbar. Okay, so yeah, come over here. So after doing this, we can directly copy and paste this to make our about section. Yeah, this is our about section, this is our projects, and last we have our contact section. So over here we'll just write here about, and over here we'll write here a project, and here we'll write contact. Okay, so yeah, you can see here these are all visible one by one and all going down. Yeah, so this is pretty simple. We have done up to here. Okay, so yeah, after we have done over here, so yeah, so we'll just add here a link of the about, that would be about over here, and we'll add a project over here, and as last we'll add a contact. Okay, so it will just end up in the home page. If we click here, we will end up in the about page. Yeah, and if we just click on to the projects, it will go to the projects. Yeah, so it will slide up to the projects and it will do its job. Okay, so now it will end over here, list div, and then yeah, at the end of the navbar. So this is the end of the navbar and a header. Okay, so yeah, now we'll work onto the header part. So yeah, first of all we'll add a h1 with the not class. Okay, so we'll add a s1 with the id of the name. Then we'll add my name here, 𝗤𝗔𝗖𝗧𝗜𝗘. So as you can see, here's my name. Or let's just make it like this, 𝗤𝗔𝗖𝗧𝗜𝗘. So this is my real name. Okay, so after I'll just write here with the s2 with the class of the line 1, that is animation typewriter. So this is pretty simple, as you can see. Yeah, so we're just writing what we want, what kind of features do we want, and yeah, it's pretty simple, as you can see. Full stack web developer. So yeah, as you can see, here is a full stack web developer, so we need to make it work. So yeah, we'll be doing that later on. Okay, so yeah, for now okay, we'll have here and then div. Okay, then we'll have here a div. End of the div, we'll add another div that will add a add id for the about page. Okay, so yeah, and then inside we'll add a div with the class of the container. Okay, container. Then inside this we'll have a class h1 tag. Then here we'll have a text with the center and about headings. About heading, that would be, this is h1 tag, sorry, and it would be, okay, sorry, so this should be here and this should be about me. Okay, so here's our about me page. Yeah, this is our about me page. And okay, so and then I'll just write here a p with the class. Okay, and that would be about pg text center, and let's add here Lorem Ipsum. Okay, so yeah, let's work. So yeah, this is the end of the div for the about section. Yeah, so this is the end of the div for the about section. So yeah, let's work on the style.css, on how to manage these all. Okay, so first of all, so we need to manage these all text. So yeah, come to the style.css. Okay, so now first we'll be working on the responsive parts. So first we'll write here a media, write here media on the screen, and minimum width of the 1920 pixels. So this is the full screen, yeah, that we have on our laptop, 1920 by 1080, if we all know that. Yeah, so we have main, so we have a background. Here's the background and here's a URL, and yeah, we'll add a link later on. Okay, so don't worry. So and here a no repeat. Okay, then after we'll have a height, that would be 1080 pixels. Okay, so minimum width is 1920 and height is 1080 pixels. Okay, and now yeah, after working we'll be having a 9 and items, and also another class that is navbar with the nav. So we'll have some margins that would be 20 pixels. Okay, yeah, okay, then yeah, after we'll be having a name. The font size would be 6.5 frame. Okay, now we'll just work for the similar. Okay, so a little bit smaller screen, that would be around 1366 to, and max width of the 1919 pixels. Okay, so yeah, so we'll work for the same things over here as well. So just copy this and paste it over here. Okay, so just just change the height to 768 pixels, and that will be 26 and 6.5 rem. Okay, So yeah, and again we'll be working on the similar things. Okay, so just copy and paste it, copy and paste it over here. Okay, and just make it to 1280 pixels, and then the max width to the 1365. Okay, and yeah, I'll make it to the 800 pixels. Okay, 20 pixels and 6.5. Okay, so yeah, and now again just copy this and paste it over here. Okay, after doing this I'll just change this to the 768 pixels. Okay, and change this to the 1279 pixels, and change this one, the height, to the 1024 pixels, and then yeah, so now just remove this. Okay, and then we'll just change this to the 3.5 RAM. Okay, and now just copy this one, and we'll be doing this for last time. Okay, now just change the height to 736 pixels, and we'll just have here a maximum height that would be 767, and then yeah, and we'll add a font size of the 3.5, and also have some margin left with the 20 pixels, and that we'll just add a important over here, and then we'll have a line -1. Okay, and also margin left, that would be 20 pixel, and important. Okay, so yeah, after doing this, let's check. Okay, we haven't added any background yet. Okay, so by so far this is what we have made over here. Okay, so yeah, I think it is working. Okay, so yeah, after we have done up to over here, we have added our responsive thing, so we'll add a URL for the background. Okay, so this is our background image. Okay, so let me show you on the original one. So this is our background image, and we need to add it on our this one. Okay, so yeah, so the real image is given in the online. Okay, so you can directly download it from the zip file which I have given of this index.html and style.css inside the image folder. Okay, so you can have access to that images if you want, or you can add your one image from here. Okay, okay, I already add here, and we'll add another one over here and another one over here. So now I'll just refresh my page. Okay, so okay, now we work onto the main. Okay, which has a background size of the cover. Okay, so yeah, so here's our home, about, project, contact, and here's our name and a web developer. Okay, so it will work. So when we add some CSS over here, okay, so now we'll have a work on the navbar nav. Okay, so we'll add some font size, that would be 2 rem. Okay, so here's our original, and now we'll work on to the about and a contact page. Okay, about, and also yeah, we'll be working on to the contact, either if we did not have any work yet, so we'll just add a background color, that would be E9ECEFB B3. Okay, so let's see. So yeah, okay, so it is working, and now we'll just work on to the about heading. Okay, so we'll have a font size of the 4 rem, then we'll add some padding top, that will be 100 pixels. Okay, and then we'll add some padding bottom, that will be around 20 pixels. So yeah, the gapping is good as well. Okay, so now we'll just work onto the dot about pz, that is paragraph. Okay, and we'll add a font size of the 2 rem, and then I will just add some padding bottom of the 100 pixels over here as well. Yeah, and then also we'll add some padding top, that would be 48 pixels. Okay, so this is looking much better. Okay, so yeah, and now we'll just work onto the text font. Okay, so this name and this line 1, so we'll make it some animations over here. Okay, so to make it work, we have a ID, that is a name, and we'll have some margin left, so that is to the corner. So yeah, has moved onto the right, so somewhat. And now we'll work onto the line 1, that is our animations. Yeah, you know, just will write here position would be absolute. Okay, now position should be relative, and then yeah, border should be on the right with the 2 pixel of the solid RGBA, that would be 0, 0, 0. This is white color, and then this is a black color with the 0.75 of the opaque. Okay, and now we'll add a font size, that would be 30 pixels. Okay, and now we'll have a text align, that would be center, and also we'll have some white space, that would be no wrap. Okay, and overflow should be hidden. Okay, I will move from here to here, then now transform. Okay, and translate y, that would be minus 50%, and then margin from left from 70 pixels, okay, to the margin top having 20 pixels. Okay, now we'll just do a animation, and to do the animation we have here a animation typewriter. Yeah, so okay, so for anim typewriter, animations typewriter, we have here animation, that is type writer for 4 seconds, and steps would be around 40, and 1 seconds 1, that would be normal both. Okay, then we add some blinked text cursor of 500 ms, and steps would be 46 with infinite normal, and now it should work. Keyframe would be typewriter, while from given width 0, okay, and to width of the 11.5 frame. Let's see, full stack wave. Okay, so we'll add a blink texture other key framework, blink text cursor from border right color RGBA, that would be black, and 0.75. yeah, okay, and do border right color, that would be transparent. Okay, let's see. Okay, so this is not going up to over here, so I think I have done some mistakes over here. So that should be an animation typewriter 4 seconds, and one is one normal bot, and blink text cursor would be 500 ms. So steps would be like this, and yeah, from the typewriters from 0 bit to 11.5 frame. Okay, 5 em. So yeah, so it should work now. So I have write rem, that is a em. Okay, so these are different one. So yeah, so it is working perfectly, as you can see over here. So let me refresh one more time. So yeah, so it is working perfectly. So yeah, after working on these all, we should go back to our index.html, and now what we will do here is now we'll work onto the project section. Yeah, let's write here projects. Okay, so now let's work into the project section. So first of all, we'll have a div with the ID of the projects. Then we'll create a div with the class of the container, and inside the container we'll have a h1 class. Okay, h1 class, so that would have a text with the center And yeah, also we have a about heading, and it should write here a projects. Let's see. So yeah, here's our projects, and we'll add our projects over here down. Okay, so we need to make a cards, as you know, so we'll just create a div with the class having row and pt5 auto, and having a id of the projects cards, not project, this is project card, and inside we'll have another div with the class of the column with the medium having 6 grid, and column with the large having 4 grid, and also pb tends to 3. Okay, we'll add another div with the class of the card custom with the background of the white. Okay, and border would be white, and border having 0. Okay, so here we'll have a enter, let's say enter project logos. Okay, so you can enter a project logo over here. So okay, so after doing this, so we'll create a div with the class with say card custom images. So okay, so we'll add our card image customs over here. So let's say we give a id with the project of the 2. Okay, so okay, so yeah, so after we'll have an anchor tag with the class. So as hyperreference would be has, and then class would be grow, and also we'll have a target, so that would be blank. Okay, so yeah, and inside the anchor tag we'll have a image with the class. Okay, the source would be over here. The source is also given in the description if you don't know. Okay, the source is also given in the description, you can add anything. So let's me add the photo is also given in the description in the same image folder. So here's our source, and alternative would be has, and then class we will add a image fluid. Okay, so which will be completely responsive. So okay, so this is our image 1. Okay, and here's the end of our anchor tag, div class custom irg id protect anchor tag. Okay, that's blank. Okay, so before adding this image source, I forgot to add we need to add a certain class. So that's a card with the custom avatar. Okay, and inside this we should put this link inside this div. Okay, and it will work. Okay, just come over here and end it over here. So yeah. Okay, so this is our first card. Okay, and now what we'll do here is now we'll add a div with the class of the card body. So we need a card body. Yeah, and inside we have a style that will be overflow y, that would be auto, and inside this we'll have a s4 with the card title. So these are all Bootstrap features. I'm repeating again and again, these are all Bootstrap features which you can directly use to make. Okay, so this is project 1, let's say, and okay, so we'll add a p with the class of the card text. Okay, and let's say enter the detail of your projects. Okay, let's see. Okay, here's our enter the details of your projects. Okay, of your projects. And also, yeah, we need to add one more thing, that is a button. Okay, so we'll have a div with the class of the card footer. Okay, and we'll have a style that will have a background of the inherit. Okay, and we'll have a border color that would be inherit as well. Okay, And then okay, so that will be inherit as well, and we'll add a anchor tag with the class of the btn info, that is a button, btn info inside the class. Okay, and we'll write here a view live. So here's our button, here's our view live button. Read more, so one is a anchor tag, and we'll add a button, okay, with the class btn outline would be primary. Okay, and then I'll write here type would be button, and I will say here read more. Yeah, so here's our one button, here's our another button, which we can as a link. Okay, so it is a link to view live, and here's our read more. So we'd add two more here. There is a project 2, and another one is my portfolio. Okay, so this video is going to be too long. Okay, and it doesn't matter if it gets too long, because we are learning. So to learn, we need to do this all. Okay, you know that very well. Yeah, so this is a ID with the project 1. Okay, so now so yeah, we need to copy from here to, I think, here. We need to copy from here to here, then copy everything and paste it over here. Now change this to the project 2, change this png with the another one. Okay, so just copy and paste it over here, and let's say this is project 2. Okay, and so here's our project 2. Okay, and at last we'll add our my portfolio. So we'll just copy this again and paste it over here. Now let's say, sorry, let's change it to the portfolio. Yeah, and then just change this image, okay, to the last one we have here. Okay, change this to the, and make this project 2 my portfolio, and enter. Okay, so after so we'll just work onto the index.html, that it will be okay. So we'll just work here for the contact page as well, contact section, let's say. Okay, and then we'll have a div with the ID and contact div with the class of the container, and then we'll have a s1 with some class that would have my text on the center, and who about heading. Okay, and also yeah, let's write here contact me. So these are all similar to the above part we have done. Yeah, so easy to remember. So now yeah, we'll create a form tag. Okay, we don't need these actions. Okay, and okay, we'll have a div with the class of the form group. Okay, and then we'll add some labels, that is for form group example input. Okay, and that would be name. Okay, and then we'll add some input text, would be text similar, and we'll add a class that will be form control, and we'll have a ID that will say form group example input. Okay, form group example input, and we'll have an end of this one group over here. We'll create another one, we'll add another one, and this would be the email address. Okay, and yeah, type will be email over here, and at last we will have a message, and we'll just remove this input from here. We'll add a text area where the okay, so we'll have a class of the form control like similar over here, and then we'll have a ID of the from group example input, and then at last we'll have a rows of the 3 for the maximum. Okay, so yeah, it looks good for me. Okay, now so after doing this, we'll add a button. Okay, so this is div, and inside we'll add a button which have a type for the submit. Okay, and we'll add a class with btn info, and that will take around MB2. Okay, and we'll have a ID of the button, and here we will add a submit. Okay, so let's see, here's our submit as well. And at last, after doing this all, so what we'll do here is we'll also add a footer. Okay, so for footer we have a footer with the class of the footer. Okay, so we have a div with the class of the container which have a text in the center. Okay, so inside we'll have a span with the class of the footer text. Okay, will be copyright, and this is a symbol for the copyright. Let's see. Okay, there's a symbol for the copyright, and after doing this we'll say 2025 and give this all rights reserved. Okay, so that's all for the footer. Okay, so now we need to manage this all from the project. So from above it is already managed, but down below we haven't done anything from the project section. So now come back to the style.css. okay, so after working on up to here, so we'll now work onto the form. Okay, we'll have a padding bottom of the 100 pixels, and we'll add some padding top that would have 40 pixels. Okay, so I'm working on this contact me page. Okay, so now let's work on the HTML. We'll have some position of the relative with the minimum height of around 100%, and also we'll have a scroll behavior that would be, let's give it smooth. Okay, so it looks much more better. Yeah, so yeah, now we'll have a body with the margin bottom of the 6 pixels, 60 pixels. So this is margin button by from this height, yeah, from the footer height. And now we'll have a footer class with the position of the absolute, and we'll have a bottom 0, and width will be 100%. Height should be at around 60 pixels. It's working. And then now we'll add a line height would be 60 pixels as well. Yeah, it's under the center. And then we'll have a background color of the 48. Yeah, it looks much more better. Yeah, so after working, let's work on the footer text, footer dash text, and we'll have a color white. Now we'll just work onto the buttons. Okay, now we'll have border none, and also border radius of around 3 pixels only. Okay, having box shadow of 0, 1 pixels, 2 pixels, RGBA 0,0,0,1 only, and slash 0, 2 pixels, 4 pixels, RGBA 0,0,0,0,0.05. After that we'll add a margin bottom of the 15 pixels. Then we'll have a position that will be relative, and we'll add some transition. Okay, that would be all 0.15 seconds is in and out. Okay, so it is looking much more better. So now what we'll do here is work under the button, hover /btn focus slash btn. This is class, this button active slash dot btn active and focus. So outline would be none, and we'll have a transition of the all 0.1 second, 1 5 second is in and out. We'll have a button with the hover, okay, and yeah, we'll have some box shadow of 0 to pixels, 4 pixels, and RGBA 0, 0, 0, 0 point, sorry, 0.2, 0, 0, 2 pixels, 4 pixels, 8 pixels, and RGBA 0, 0, 0, 0.1. Okay, and now we'll add here a transition of all 0.15 second with ease in and out, and transform would be around translate y with -1 pixels. Okay, so now we'll work onto the project cards, which is the most difficult one over here because it contains a tons of design. If you can see, here is a design we have added, and here's a hovering, and also here we added a card. So to make it it is a little bit complex, so we are doing this on the last part. So this is our last part here. Okay, so yeah, and now only CSS is left. We have already done our HTML part, so CSS is not that hard, so we'll just start with from here. Okay, so first we'll just write here a card custom class where overflow should be hidden, okay, and minimum height should be of around 450 pixels, okay, and then we'll add some box shadow 0015 pixels of the RGBA, so 0, 0, 0. I don't want it full black, so let's make it 10.3. Okay. Okay, so now let's make this image first of all. Okay, custom, let's change this first of all. Height 150 pixels, minimum height 200 pixels. Okay, let's see, I think I've done some mistake over here. Card custom image, background repeat, no repeat, and background size cover. Did I did some mistake over here or anything? I am unable to see. 1, 2, 3. Auto project cards. Card custom busy white border 0. Okay, so here's a card custom, here's also card custom, and at last we have, so yeah, it's a typing error, I can see. So as you can see, here is a border, big border, so we need to manage that. It's a big card. Okay, so we'll just manage it. I think I did some mistake over here. Okay, let's see. BDN, okay, BDN, medium C, large 4, and okay, it is okay. Yeah, it is okay, so we'll just work onto the CSS part, and if we find some error, so we'll just change it. Okay, so yeah, now let's work onto the card custom image after. So let's write a position that is absolute, and we'll have a content, and we will add some top of the 151 pixels. Okay, width 0, height 0, border style would be solid, and border top width would be 70 pixels. Border right width would be 0. Okay, I think I updated some error while making this card. Okay, so let me check in my index.html. Okay, so yeah, okay, so div class with the id. Okay, so I've ended a div over here, so that should not be in here. Okay, so here's another mistake, so that is why it is coming that big. Okay, let me change this one too and bring it back over here. And okay, so let's see once again. Okay, so yeah, so as you can see, the card is already looking so good, so we need to just change the size of these cards and it will look much more better. Okay, so yeah, come back to the style.css. So bottom left we'll add a 545 pixels. So what we are trying to do is we are trying to make this design, so these card designs, as you can see. Okay, we are trying to make those, and now we'll add a border left width with the calc. Okay, and then we'll have a 400 pixels minus add particle width. Let's come back over here. We'll have a border top color that it will be transparent, border bottom color, and then border left color. Let it all be a transparent, border left, right, and then border inherit left. So we haven't finished this yet. Okay, so let's make this background position to center, and then border color to in. Okay, let's now work onto the card custom, not image, avatar with the image. Now we'll have a border radius that it be 20% only, and then we'll have a position of the absolute. We'll also add some box shadow 15 pixels. Yeah, and then RGBA 10 10 10 0.2. Top would be 100 pixels, left would be 1.25 rem, and then we'll add a width that would be 100 pixels and height that would be 100 pixels as well. Okay, so yeah, it is looking much more better. Yeah, okay, so let me see, so let's change this to call me. Okay, and we'll call me to view live, so it would look much more better. Yeah, the view live is much more better. So yeah, I will add a design like this in over here, so it is pretty easy as well. So let me just show you how to make that design. So we'll just have a dot card with the custom avatar. Okay, and image with the hover. So we'll have a box shadow that is 14 pixels, 28 pixels, and RGBA is card custom image after. Position is absolute, and content top left right. Okay, border style solid 7, right 0, bottom is 0, left 500 pixels. Top color, bottom color, right color, and left color. Okay, come back over here. We'll just add a RGBA. Okay, and we'll just have here some numbers and digit, which I do not remember as well. Okay, so I need to just check it and do it. So 0.25 and give a comma, then 0 10 pixels, RGBA 0 0 0 0.22. Okay, sorry. And okay, so now that it is a box shadow, now we'll add for the project 1. Okay, so we'll add a background like this on this. So we have just added a card shadow, yeah, the image shadow. Now we'll just do over here a background that is 21df for fd, that would be linear gradient, and 19 degree, and of course the color should be okay, 354E54, that would be 0%, 354E54, 354E54, 0%. So you can add any color you want. If you want to change the color, you can change it as you like. Okay, so I'm changing from my perspective. Yeah, I like this color, so I changed, so you can easily change this color. Yeah, so let's do it for the project 2 and 3 similarly. So just make it to the project, and this is portfolio, I guess, portfolio. Yeah, these are all same, just change it to the F3 1A, change this to the B, change this to the C. You can change the color the way you want it. Okay, 1 2 3, and this is 5 6 5 4 E. Make it this to 1 2 3. Okay, so you can see here the change in the color, so you can change the one way you want it. Okay, and just make this project card. Okay, project cards, and add some let's add some margin important of the 100 pixels, and that is important. Okay, so yeah, okay, so the project cards has some margins. Okay, so I think the thing is completed, the project is completed, and here's our portfolio. Yeah, here's our submit button and everything, and let's refresh our page, and I think this is working properly. Yeah, and we have completed the portfolio by coding ourselves, and well done. And thank you everyone for watching my video and learning how to make a portfolio. And if you are new to my channel, please do follow and subscribe my channel, and don't forget to share it with your friends. And if you have project related work, you can also visit my playlist to learn lots of the project over there. Okay, so thanks for watching again, see you in the next time, bye for now.